So initially, I decided to make this video as soon as I get up. But then today when I got out of my blanket, I realized it's cold. So I'm going to stand in the sun and then I'll make this video. Good day everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's topic is going to be quite different from what we usually speak about. We usually do studies on Bible topics, but today we'll quickly divert for a short while and we'll speak about Adventist music. I've often seen in church, like would be in a service and would have music going on, and usually Central is built is in a particular area that's close to like a guest house, hostel type of thing, and the Germans would usually come in and they say, oh, the singing is interesting. And I've just seen that many people always say, oh, Adventist music is very interesting. Finally decided, hey, let's do a series about Adventist music, and thus the title. So this is going to be a part series. You can see that it's part 1, and I hope to have part 2, part 3, part 4, and we'll see where we'll end particularly. But yeah, I guess that's what we are going to study now. As for the studies, I just want to point out one thing. Please leave your suggested comments down in the comment box, and then I'll look at it and then we'll see which one is more demanded or which one is more pressing, and then we'll do a study on that one. Anyways, so Adventist music, let's start. Yeah, first of all, let's put some music on, because it doesn't make sense to talk about Adventist music and we don't have music playing in the background. Now then, music.
Oh Lord, my Father, I look at the cross.
Almost one try.
Jesus, your
Yeah, there we go. Let's just put that in the background. And there we go. Let's start. Now, Adventist music. What do I mean when I say Adventist music? Now, the topic has 2 words that we need to describe Adventist and music. Now, Adventist in itself is a Protestant, Protestant Christian denomination that basically focuses more on observance of the Sabbath, but the Jewish Sabbath, which is on Saturday, starting Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. I made a video of this. You can look it up and then go watch it, and perhaps then you'll understand what I'm saying. But they are a Christian denomination that focuses on worship on the Sabbath, and they emphasize mostly, the emphasis of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Adventist, is the imminent second coming of Christ. That's what Google says. And music. Now, to define music, you'll have to look at a specific, what can I call it? Range of things you want to understand. There's vocal and instrumental. Now, both can be used to create a harmony, and both can be used, but usually you blend music, whether vocals or instrumentals, or vocals and instrumentals together, to attain harmony and just a lot of soothing sounds that people like. Now, we're not going to focus on the instrumental aspect of music, but rather we're going to focus on the vocal, a cappella type of music. Now, in the Adventist church we have a cappella singing, and usually traditionally we have different parts which people sing in order to create harmony. Now, there are 8 parts to be specific. The 8 parts are not always used. They are rarely used, in all honesty, because there's a lot of complication in understanding 8 parts, so traditionally people only do 4 parts. Now, the parts that you have are for the male, to be specific. The parts that the male sings, some males can sing higher than what is going to be said now, but that's not what we're discussing. Anyways, so we have bass, then we have baritone, then we have tenor, and then we have counter tenor. Now, those are the 4 parts which the males sing in a choir. And for the females, you have contralto, then we have alto, then we have mezzo-soprano and soprano. Those are the 8 parts that exist in a setup where people are singing. A good example of people who sing with all 8 parts is the Stellenbosch choir. Those guys are tough. Those guys are tough. Let's quickly play a video. That's basically them. Now then, these 8 parts work together, and that's how you attain music in the Adventist church. However, we're not going to focus on all 8 of them because I am not particularly gifted in understanding all 8. I understand. Okay, I can. When you play the song, if I listen to it for like 100 times, I'll understand the whole 8 parts and tell you where what goes and blah blah blah. But hearing it like this, no, doesn't work with me. I am more of a novice. Yes, I'm more of a novice when it comes to music. I'm just trying to get out the whole aspect of how Adventist music works. There are a few things that determine how you sing or what voice type you have. Yes, voice type. Number 1 is the weight of your voice. This just it's basically the heaviness or the lightness of your voice, and that's a major contributor to what voice type you are. Remember the ones that we had mentioned before. Continuing is also the tessitura. Now basically the tessitura, I'm reading from my computer, the tessitura is basically the range which you are most comfortable singing with. That also has a determining factor upon which voice type you have. Another one is the bridge location, which is basically the transition between your vocal the vocal registers. I'll explain that shortly. Another one is your range. Your range is the highest and the lowest note that you can sing. Basically that goes to determine what type of voice type you have. Another one is the timbre. This is the texture of your voice. The texture of your voice, mainly, I genuinely want to believe, that's one of the main contributors to what voice you sing. Yes. Another one is your vocal registers. Basically how big or small they are. So if your head voice is not very... Oh wait, I didn't explain that. Okay, I'll get back to that. Another one is your speaking voice. Closely related to the ranges that you can sing, like your high notes and your low note. But that one is like your high notes and your low notes is, let me see how high I can go. But your speaking voice is what you speak with. I don't think we should... Okay, no, you can count the morning voice. Many people have a morning voice that disappears, but it doesn't actually disappear. A friend of mine once said that his favorite singer actually said, your voice remains constant throughout the day. And that specific favorite singer of his said that the longer the day progresses, the deeper his voice could be. Another one is anatomy. This is basically how your throat and your vocal cords are, your body size. Yes, body size. There are certain people, I won't mention what type of bodied people, those people sing. Hey. Vocal registers is basically where you sing from, because you have, when you start singing, people always tell you sing from your chest, and that's basically because we sing from the wrong registers. When we try to copy people, you see, when we grow up, we listen to music and we try to sing like them. We basically do it from our head voice, and that's how life is. But when you start singing by yourself, they start telling you sing from your chest, sing from the diaphragm. And that's basically because you have 2 types of registers. You have your head voice and you have your chest voice. You also have something in between called the middle, the break, the passaggio, or yeah, that's what they usually call it. But that's basically it. That's also some determining factor. So figure out, if you're learning to sing bass, figure out your chest voice, low notes. It's gonna help. Your head voice might have lower notes, but the middle is where the sugar is. Now then, the lowest singing voice, we're going to focus on voices now. The lowest singing voice is a bass singer. This is usually found in the men. I've not found a woman who can really sing bass. You'll understand why shortly. Women always say, yes, I can sing bass, but look at the notes we're going to describe. Now, a bass singer should be able to sing the lowest note a bass singer should be able to sing is a C2, and usually their highest note is a G4. Find a pitch pipe, a good one, an advanced one that gives you those little numbers, those small numbers next to the note itself. Now then, a bass singer should be able to sing a C2 and a G4. That's what's usually categorized as a bass singer. After a bass singer, we have what we call a baritone. Now, many males are actually baritones and not basses. Very surprising. You'd find that's why many males can sing bass, because most of them are baritones. So, a baritone should be able, lowest note for a baritone should be an F2, and the highest note should be a C5, and that's the categorization, the category, the vocal note category for a baritone. They usually think they're basses, but they're not. Up next we have the tenors. Now the tenors sing from a C3 to a C5. Very interestingly, did you notice that the baritone is very close to the bass, and also very close, exactly where the tenor ends. And basically, baritones can do a lot, in all honesty. But yeah, so if you're a baritone, it's not a bad thing. You are not a good bass. You're not a perfect bass, but you are a good singer. So tenors, as we said before, C3, C5, that's the vocal range for a tenor. But you find certain tenors that can sing extremely high, and those ones are the ones that we spoke about earlier, who are counter tenors. These ones are the ones who, you see, tenors have more control over their head voice, which is usually known as the falsetto, if you've heard about the falsetto. But they have more control over their head voice, and thus they can sing much higher. And in so singing, they kill it, man. And now you find countertenors who are even better at controlling their head voice, and they sing into the ranges of the counter altos, and these guys are tough. Those are the guys who can scream like, yeah. Up next we have the altos. The altos sing from an F3 to an F5. This is a vocal register, again, for women, that altos should be able to sing. There are some males who can sing it. Very good for you. The pentatonic guy, that one who sings the last solo at Hallelujah, I think he even surpasses this particular vocal range. But I forgot to mention that counter altos sing below. Yes, counter altos sing below what the alto, contra, not counter. Contra altos sing slightly, they have a more lower vocal range, and sometimes they can reach into the highest notes of a countertenor, and sometimes they can go as low as a tenor, basically. But really, yeah, so some women are really good at singing. Then we move on to mezzo-sopranos. Now there are some women who, after learning how to sing, they find that they fit in very well with the sopranos. However, they can also sing the alto notes, and it's okay for them. But so if you're one of those, they are the in-between people. They think they're in between, but their actual voice is mezzo-soprano. Now mezzo-soprano sings from an A3 to an A5. Do you see how serious it gets? They are tough. So they sing from an A3 to an A5, and usually on average, like on a normal song, they would be singing with the sopranos. But when there's a three-way split, when you have when music becomes complicatedly beautiful, yes, complicatedly beautiful, you would find that you now have to separate all the voices. And when you separate them, that's when you realize below that very high soprano voice, there's a voice that does not fit in alto. That voice is mezzo-soprano, and that's the group we are speaking about now. The last group we will be speaking about is the sopranos. I would sing it, but no. The sopranos are people who sing from a C4 to a C6. Yes, those are the people. Those people have the highest female voice in a singing group, basically. The reason why I specified these specific notes is because usually music is compiled between these between these vocal registers, between a C2 and a C6. That's usually where music is comprised of. But they can be lower, like many of the groups such as Voice Play, Pentatonics, and Home Free. They sing quite interestingly. However, our focus will not be on all 8 voices. For today's video and for a few of the next series, we'll be focusing on 4 voices to be specific, which are soprano, not the high one, I want to believe mezzo soprano. Then we'll have alto, like the alto, and then we'll focus on tenor and then bass. Now there are a lot of groups that use these 4, mezzo soprano, alto, tenor and bass in their singing. We'll later include baritone and another voice called midlock, and we'll also look really into how Stellenbosch really sings. But for now, we'll focus on these 4. Now I'm going to play a few choirs, namely Windhoek Central Youth Choir, Higher Praise, Young Disciples, and Katutura Chorale. I had to get that chorale thing. I'll play a few videos and I hope you enjoy them. I'm going to take a yogurt break and I hope you enjoy the video. Perfect. Now then, I hope you enjoyed the video. I used to sing for 2 of them, Higher Praise and Young Disciples. I'm coming. Anyways, no, I'm not coming. I'm probably going to give up on singing. Now then, they use 4 parts occasionally. They use 4 parts usually, but with Katutura Chorale, it's a bit different now. They have more voices. They have more of the contras and the counters and the baritones, the mezzos and the sopranos. So yeah, they are doing the most. Higher Praise also doing the same. Young Disciples, I feel like they don't have mezzo soprano. They have soprano. Central Youth Choir, hey. Anyways, those are the few groups that use the 4-part harmony choirs basically. But now I want us to look at groups, singing groups to be specific. I'm going to mention groups that I've seen in Namibia. Yes, and I'll link the links to the videos will be up as each video plays. I'll try to, yeah, and also down in the description box below. give me comments and tell me to look into something and explain how it works, and then I'll try to understand. If I don't, I have good friends that are very musical. These people are not normal, but they're tough. Anyways, the first group we'll look at is Today. Today is a singing group from Windhoek Central Church, and let's look at their video. That's basically Today. I'm going to keep them very short. You can go watch them with your own time. The next one is Pillars of Faith. Yes, Pillars of Faith. They sing very well. They're a singing group from Okuliyangaba State Church. Let's watch. See, the next one we have is also very good. What's the group's name? Hope Singers. Hope Singers is also from Windhoek Central SDA Church. Let's watch their video.
This is the question now. What shall the answer be?
And the last one on the mixed quartet, it's not really a quartet. It has more. It's reaching into that baritone type of singing also, but yeah, usually 4 parts. El Shaddai. Now then, those are mixed quartets where you have the upper voices are taken by females and the lower voices are taken by males. Let's look at male only quartet. Now the first one on our list is called Exodus Vocals. This one is from Katimamulilo. Yes, Katimamulilo. And they sing very well. Let's see a video. Another one is Golden Gates. This one is very popular, also from Katimamulilo, and they sing. There's a song they sing there. I. Another one. Another one we have is Trumpet Blowers Male Voice. There's also like a mixed group where you have males and females combined, but I couldn't put the male and female voice on top like with the first groups because we're going to mention it here, so yeah, give more space to the others. Let's watch their video. They're from Grootfontein. And then the last group we have is One Accord. One Accord, I want to believe it's from Windhoek Central Church Choir. Church Choir, Windhoek Central Church. Yeah, I want to believe so because most of the members attend there. So let's watch their video.
Turn to me, O sons of mine, turn to me. Whoa.
Yeah, One Accord. So something I just wanted to point out is, you see how we have soprano, alto, tenor, bass? Usually in a male setup, it changes. Usually, it's called first tenor, second tenor, baritone bass. That's how it's usually referred to. The Zambians say that. In Namibia, however, we call it soprano, alto, tenor, bass. I guess that's how we got around with it. But let me know what you call it. Yeah. Now, also which one makes sense? There's a poll. Anyways, yeah, please give me your feedback. And then we have certain groups also, like we have with male groups, we usually also have that with females. Females also comprise their own groups. As we said earlier, some females can sing the countertenor notes. But something interesting with female I'll explain it when it's played. Yeah. The first group we'll be looking at is, I don't know whether they have a name, but it's Filna, Mbile, and Mercy. These are a few girls from Unam, Sidazim SDA Church. I don't know what to call it, but yeah. Let's watch their video.
You can fly high. You're a child.
Another one we have is Amazing Voices. These are a group of females, mothers to be specific, from Windhoek Central Church.
Jesus, Jesus, how I trust Him.
And then we have one that is very interesting. The Jesus Sisters. Yes. I'm going to play 2 of their videos because I want to outline. I want to draw your attention to something interesting. The first video.
Be like Christ. I want my life.
In that video, you have them singing I'm just going to refer to them how they sing, how it's referred to in Namibia. You have soprano, alto, and tenor. Now I'm going to play another video, and in this video it's going to be different. There's soprano, alto, tenor, and something called high tenor. But I think you see what is happening there. They have soprano, like soprano, then mezzo soprano, then soprano, mezzo soprano, alto, and contra alto. Those 4. And yeah, listen for yourself. Yeah, it's just that the soprano is singing a different tune, but I hope you see what I'm getting to. Another notable group is called, what is it called? Those girls. Lanterns of God. Listen to.
There's a church in the valley by the wall. No lovely a place in the hill. No spot is so.
Then lastly, we have a group that is very close to my heart because my mom sings in it. They also have female tenor. We'll play their video now. They have a CD. Don't play. My mom is serious with this thing. Anyways, let's listen to them. And that's basically Adventist music. A few of the people have channels, and I'll link them in the description box below. I'll also put them here so that you know which ones have channels. You should go subscribe to their channels. But I hope to see you in the next video. We will focus on voices like baritone, midlock, and so forth and so forth. Some effects and some tricks that are done in the Adventist singing style. But for now, I think this is the end of this video. I'll gather the content and I'll share all the links and everything that I used to do my research in the description box below. And till then, see you in the next video.